A colossal shadow moves between the glowing trees. Something massive is stalking the squad. The rain eased into a heavy mist that clung to every leaf, every breath. The squad stood frozen, their armor humming softly under the alien humidity. Commander Eli Vance kept his hand outstretched toward the towering creature. The apex, a beast twice the size of a dropship. Its 6 eyes shimmered with cold intelligence, reflecting the faint blue glow of the forest canopy. For a heartbeat, the entire jungle seemed to hold its breath. Then, as silently as it appeared, the apex turned, muscles rippling beneath bioluminescent fur, and vanished into the fog. The alien warriors, Varelians, looked at Vance as though he'd just performed necromancy. Sarai, their commander, lowered her spear with visible effort. "No human walks away from Kator," she muttered, voice trembling somewhere between awe and fury. Vance exhaled finally. "Guess I'm just lucky," he said, forcing a crooked smile, though his pulse pounded in his ears. He didn't feel lucky. He felt seen. The Varelians formed a cautious circle around him, whispering in their melodic language. One of them touched the scorched ground where Kator had stood. "The beast spared him," he said. "That means something," Sarai frowned. "It means danger. Take him to the council." As they marched through the glowing jungle, Vance's eyes kept darting to the living light around him. Plants swayed despite the still air, their roots pulsing faintly, as if the entire forest was breathing. His translator crackled occasionally, failing to catch half of what the aliens said. Still, their tone carried more weight than words could. Fear, confusion, maybe curiosity. They reached a vast clearing where crystalline structures rose from the ground like frozen lightning. The alien city of Valir, delicate bridges stretched across waterfalls of light. It was breathtaking, beautiful in a way no Earth architect could replicate. "Stay close," Sarai warned. "Some still think your kind brought the blight," Vance half laughed, half sighed. "Story of my species." As the gates opened, alien eyes followed him with suspicion. Somewhere far above, the mist shifted again, 2 glowing eyes watching from the trees. The apex hadn't gone far. It was following him, and though Vance didn't say it aloud, he could feel it, a quiet pull in his chest. Like the jungle itself was whispering his name. Vance had seen 100 alien worlds, but nothing like Valir. The air shimmered with soft light, every surface breathing column. The city seemed alive, not built but grown. When the council chamber doors opened, the scent of ozone and strange flowers hit him like an ocean wave. 12 elders sat in a ring, their translucent skin glowing faintly. In the center, an orb pulsed with energy, a symbol of truth or judgment. He couldn't tell. Sarai stood beside him, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. The eldest, Nathera, leaned forward. "You touched Kator," she said, voice like wind through crystal. "No outsider has ever done that and lived." "I didn't mean to," Vance answered. "It just stopped when I asked it to." A murmur spread through the chamber. Some of the Varelians looked afraid, others fascinated. One warrior hissed, "He commands death." Vance gave a crooked half-smile. "If I commanded it, I'd tell it to stop sneaking up on me." A few of them almost laughed. Almost. Nathera's eyes softened. "The jungle chooses few to hear it. Perhaps it chose you." That line stuck with him. Chosen by a jungle? He barely managed to choose breakfast. Later, Sarai escorted him through hanging gardens that glowed like constellations. The silence between them was heavy but curious. "Why are you really here, human?" she asked at last. "To build trust," he said, "and maybe make sure my species doesn't blow up another friendship before it starts." Her lips twitched, half a smile. A noble liar. They stopped near a balcony overlooking the vast glowing forest. Far below, something enormous moved, a ripple of light under the trees. "Kator, watching." Sarai's voice dropped. "If it follows you, it means you share its pulse. That bond can kill or save entire worlds." Vance leaned on the rail, rain streaking his visor. "Guess I should try to make it the saving kind then." Before she could answer, the sky cracked open, a flash of silver descending through clouds. A human shuttle, unmarked, breaking atmosphere. Vance's communicator blinked red. Incoming transmission from Nexus Industries. His stomach sank. Whatever peace he'd built in the last few hours, it was already unraveling. The unmarked shuttle sliced through the clouds like a knife. Its engines left a trail of smoke that didn't belong in Valir's clear sky. Vance watched from the balcony, jaw tight. He knew that design, Nexus Industries. He'd seen those ships turn peace into profit, more times than he wanted to remember. By the time he reached the city square, metallic figures were already stepping out. 5 corporate envoys in sleek grey armor, faces hidden behind mirrored visors. Their leader, Director Ardan Kell, smiled with a politeness sharp enough to cut glass. "Commander Vance," Kell said, voice smooth. "Good to see the Federation's best still walking on 2 legs. We're here to assist your negotiations." Vance didn't miss the subtle emphasis on assist. It always meant take over. Sarai's hand went to her weapon. "These ones reek of iron and lies," she whispered. Vance forced calm. "Stand down. Let's hear them out." They met inside the council hall. The elders glowed with restrained anger as Kell unfolded a holographic display. Maps, mineral veins, profit projections. He spoke of cooperation, but the word felt like an infection spreading through the room. When he was done, Vance said quietly, "You're not here to cooperate. You're here to capture Kator." The room fell silent. Kell's smile didn't waver. Imagine what humanity could achieve with such a specimen. Controlled, contained. Sarai stepped forward. "You would chain the guardian of our world?" Kell turned slightly toward Vance. "And you, seems the creature already obeys you. We could use that connection. Do the right thing for once." For once. The words hit harder than they should have. Vance's past missions, lost colonies, failed diplomacy, flashed behind his eyes. "I'm not your leash holder," he said. "Then you're a liability," Kell replied, signaling his soldiers. The council erupted. Energy blades flared. Alien guards drew weapons. In the chaos, Vance grabbed Sarai's arm. "We need to move now." They sprinted through the glowing corridors as explosions rocked the city. Outside, lightning tore across the jungle canopy. A deep roar answered from below. Kator, enraged, Sarai's voice trembled. "Your people brought war to our world." Vance looked back at the burning skyline. "Not my people," he said softly. "Just the ones who forgot how to feel." The jungle burned with blue fire. What had once glowed softly now pulsed in agony. The planet itself screaming. Nexus drones swarmed through the trees, shredding the bioluminescent canopy. Vance and Sarai stumbled out from the collapsing bridge as the sky cracked with plasma fire. The air was hot, metallic, alive with fear. Kator roared somewhere in the storm, its cry shaking the ground. Every living thing responded. Vines flared, roots coiled, birds shrieked. It wasn't just a beast's rage. It was the planet fighting back. Vance wiped mud and blood from his face. "They're triggering the whole ecosystem," he said breathlessly. "If Kator dies, the jungle dies with it." Sarai's voice trembled. "Then we die too." He looked at her, and for the first time she saw the exhaustion in his eyes. "Not fear, sorrow. We can still stop them," he said. "But I'll need your help." And his. They reached a clearing. Kator lay wounded, one flank scorched from plasma fire, glowing fluid dripping into the earth. The ground shimmered as if mourning. Vance knelt beside the creature, heart pounding. "Hey, buddy, remember me?" Kator's massive head tilted weakly. The glow in its eyes dimmed, but a low rumble vibrated through the ground. Recognition. Sarai stepped closer, hesitant. "You mean to heal him?" Vance shook his head. "No, to link with him." He pulled out a neural adapter from his suit, modified, unstable tech. "If his mind's connected to the planet's field, maybe I can stabilize the feedback loop." Sarai grabbed his wrist. "It could kill you," he smiled faintly. "Yeah, but it could save everyone else." He pressed the device to his neck. Pain flared white-hot. For an instant the world vanished. Then came the connection, endless light, sound, emotion. Kator's mind opened like a storm. He felt everything, fear, fury, loneliness, and underneath it all a single truth. It didn't want to destroy. It wanted to protect. Through their shared vision, Vance saw the Nexus soldiers advancing. He whispered through the link, "Then protect them all." Kator roared, and the jungle came alive. Roots erupted from the ground, wrapping drones mid-air. Lightning danced through the trees. The planet fought back, not for revenge, but for balance. And in the heart of it all, a human and a beast moved as one. Morning broke over Valir like the slow breath of a healing world. Smoke still curled above the trees, but the light was gentler now, gold and blue mixing over the wet leaves. The battle was over. The jungle was alive again. Vance opened his eyes to find himself lying in the ruins of an old temple, half covered in moss and starlight. His neural link device flickered, then fell silent. For the first time in hours, he could hear only the wind. Sarai sat nearby, watching him with tired eyes. "You survived," she said, almost smiling. "Disappointing, isn't it?" He rasped. She laughed softly, a fragile sound that felt like peace returning. Around them, Varillian healers moved quietly, tending to the wounded. Above, Kator loomed on the ridge, massive but calm, its glow steady once more. Vance pushed himself up, wincing. "He's okay?" Sarai nodded. "You saved him." "Saved all of us." He glanced at the horizon where Nexus's ships had once hovered. Only drifting debris remained, glowing faintly as they burned up in the upper atmosphere. "The humans who did this?" She began. "Gone," Vance said. Command pulled them back, probably filing a report about how their asset went rogue. Sarai studied him quietly. "And you?" He hesitated. "I'm not sure. Guess I'm between species now," she smiled, a little wistful. "Then maybe you belong to both." They walked together toward the clearing. The jungle parted for them, vines bowing like respectful sentinels. When Kator lowered its head, Vance reached out, resting a hand against the creature's muzzle. The connection was quieter now, a pulse of calm instead of thunder. "Not a weapon," Vance murmured. "Just a friend." The creature's eyes shimmered, and for a moment Vance swore it understood every word. At dusk, the Varillians gathered for a ceremony beneath the glowing trees. Crystals hummed softly as they honored Kator and the stranger who'd reminded them that courage wasn't domination, it was empathy. As the crowd dispersed, Sarai turned to him. "So what will you do now?" He smirked. "Maybe teach your god some fetch tricks." She rolled her eyes, but her smile lingered. Far off, thunder rumbled, deeper, slower, like something vast stirring beneath the earth. Sarai tilted her head. "Tell me you didn't touch that one too?" Vance sighed. "Define." "Touch," lightning flashed. The screen would fade to black.